Hi, I'm Patrick Reed from the AUDUSD Principle. I've got some charts for you today, but a few of the headlines I want to take you through. Obviously, Jay Powell last week slam dunked a 25 basis point cut in the words, but that's not really on our radar at the AUDUSD Principle. What is on our radar is the 50 basis point cut. Now, looking at OIS, we've jumped last Thursday, we jumped to 23% probability of a 50 bips cut. And looking today, a week later, well, maybe half a week later, it's now up around 30%. So the rate of change or the acceleration on this 50 bips cut is significant. And, you know, to be fair, the data is not that bad. I mean, NFP firm, CPI, not a horror show. You know, let's look at retail sales, and the big one that's on, you know, our radar is GDP. So let's just see what they have to offer. So let's look at the first slide. Okay, euro dollar. This is interesting because 111.85, massive level for us. As you can see, quadruple bottom on the daily. You've got very, a lot of wood to chop around that kind of 113 level, a few moving averages around there, and the mid-Bollinger Band. And we're kind of hovering just below that. We had some poor European data out recently, but I see this ultimately to break up. And, you know, you could be kissing way up to 114 and then 115.10 area. So the next slide. Okay, this is dollar yen. Can't really make its mind up. Ultimately, the best dollar to sell, especially if it's risk off. But as ever, there's lots of moving parts affecting this pair: yields, stocks, risk, dollar, and finally yen. This has actually been dragging down a lot of the yen crosses, and we'll come to that in a minute. But yeah, ultimately, you know, 109.10, that's really big for us, and then down below is that 106 sort of 50 area. And next slide. Okay, so this is Aussie dollar. Now, recent weekend Chinese GDP subcomponents, very firm, not too bad, especially industrial production element. This is obviously given a lift to Aussie dollar, which is a proxy for China in some ways, certainly. And, you know, I just see, you know, 70, 60 area could get, you know, a sort of cause for pause, but I do see this, nothing much stopping this at the moment. You know, housing is still a problem in Australia, and, you know, Westpac and a few other big shops are citing even more cuts, but you can't really keep a good Aussie down at the moment, especially with the US side. So next slide. So this is Aussie yen. Obviously, out of all the yen courses, this has actually been probably some, you know, you could say it's the firmest. It's really not being helped by dollar yen side of it, but obviously being lifted by the core side. And with Chinese data not tanking, I just see this grinding higher. Okay, so the final slide is dollar CAD. 130.50 area, quite sticky, massive level on the fib, massive level, you know, previous lows. It did go through that. It probably needs to push lower for any sustained selling and close below on the daily. But at the moment, there's a little bit of a chop, a bit undecided. So let's just wait for this consolidation to a proper move lower. That's me. I'm Patrick. I'm out of here. And I hope these charts have been helpful. Watch that risk.